Hello, everyone, and welcome into our Thursday edition of Reporter's Notebook. If it's your first time, this is a time and place where reporters get a chance to, to break down their day, show a little personality, and go over what they did throughout the day for their assignment. And today I'm joined by Victoria Holmes here in the digital studio. Welcome.
Hello.
Well, certainly we are happy to have you here on this beautiful sunny day. I love to be in the digital studio, but I can't wait to go outside, and you got to be outside today a little bit to travel around. Tell us about your story today.
I did. So, Dr. John Silverno was at the Agricultural Center. He's the Pitt County Health Director, and he was at the Agricultural Center helping give vaccines. And they actually got 500 doses from Viant Health, a donation of 500 doses from Viant Health of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. And that's the one shot and you're good to go. So I caught up with him and talked to him about those vaccine doses, how distribution's going like in Pitt County. And then also this warmer weather, it's inspiring me to make vacation plans. It might be inspiring other people to make vacation plans. My nieces and my nephews are on spring break. So I asked him, I was like, okay, so people are getting vaccines. What's the guidance like going to be with vaccine and vacations? And he said, well, the CDC says if you're fully vaccinated, and fully vaccinated is defined as 2 weeks from getting your second dose, either the Pfizer or the Moderna, or the first dose of the Johnson & Johnson. 2 weeks from that last vaccine dosage that you get, that last shot, you are considered fully vaccinated. And when you are fully vaccinated, you can gather with small groups. Now, this is the latest recommendations from the CDC. That means that they could change, they could be updated. I mean, just like COVID, it's a day-by-day, week-by-week thing. If they start seeing case numbers rise up, we might have to kind of pull back a little bit. But if you're fully vaccinated, you are considered immune. So basically, just be safe about travel. I mean, you can travel, but just be safe about it, because there are people out there who have not gotten the vaccine, either because they choose not to or because they're just not comfortable with getting the vaccine. Whatever the reason, just be aware that COVID is out there and it is deadly. So if you get your vaccine, just be considerate of other people. You can gather with other fully vaccinated people in small gatherings. When it comes to traveling, sorry, you asked me a question, Kelsey, that I took over, right?
No, it's great information.
Well, this is now when it comes to traveling, not necessarily vacation, because you can vacation with your family in a car, and you can go to the beach and kind of be isolated, which is my kind of vacation, if I'm being completely honest. But if it comes to traveling, airplanes, any sort of public transportation, there are guidelines that the CDC recommends, including if you aren't vaccinated, making sure you get a COVID test, make sure you're negative so that the COVID won't spread anymore, so the disease won't spread anymore. And then when it comes to a few of the other recommendations, those are all with the article that I have. I made an online article in the online originals tab talking about vaccinations, the guidance with fully vaccinated people, and those travel plans.
It's also interesting, and it's funny because we were talking about it in the newsroom today. Those vaccine, your form that you get I feel like it's going to become almost like a passport for people to be able to get into places soon. It's a crazy, like, hey, do you have your vaccination? Oh, you can't come in. Just the same way with the mask too.
Yeah, and that is also very, very up in the air, because I was looking for how this vaccine card thing is going to look like. According to the CDC, they actually haven't updated their travel guidelines, any travel guidelines, but the fully vaccinated gathering guidelines, those have been changed, updated for vaccine people. The travel guidelines have not been updated. But, I mean, we could see people can travel if they have their vaccine card. And then again, it varies state to state and airplane company. So that's one of those frustrations that when it comes to making plans and stuff like that, you have to be so tedious with what you're doing. But it's understandable given the amount of deaths that occurred and, the amount of people that really got sick from this infectious disease.
I don't know about you, but I have absolutely had that itching feeling of wanting to travel somewhere. I've had that travel bug for the past few months, and I've just been sitting at home like, okay, when can I finally go somewhere that I'm not just stuck in North Carolina in my apartment going literally from my house to the gym to the grocery store to work. I've wanted to travel so much recently that hopefully that will lessen some of the restrictions that are being held because of COVID-19.
Girl, I completely feel you, because I am a travel person. I mean, every single year since high school, I've traveled everywhere. In college, I've lived in Europe, traveled through Europe. I often go to conferences and stuff like that. And then this is the first year. Well, I mean, I've lived from because I graduated and stuff like that. I've been in a few places, but I haven't been on a vacation in a while. And I am getting that itch. And especially with the cold weather, now it getting warmer.
I know.
That's why I'm like, beach trip is perfect because not a lot of people are there, especially right now. And it's kind of self-isolation, just me and the beach. That's all I need.
Well, things are starting to open up. Today actually marks the 1-year anniversary of the COVID shutdown of sports, too. So I'll have a special report later on with that. And just talking with other people, that's been a crazy thing to think of as well for the sports world. Like in my position a year ago, I was like, hey, am I going to have a job? Am I going to be able to actually go to a sports game and travel? Almost like traveling, wanting to go other places. That's how sports kind of feel to me. And being able to have them back is exciting too.
That is exciting. Yes, but I think a lot of people a year ago were having so many anxieties. Yeah, and the fact that, so you were here a year ago, right?
I was, yeah. I'm coming up on my 2 years here in Greenville in June.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
So you're definitely one of these people that like to be in the action and in the news and what's going on. And this past couple months have been probably.
Well, it's crazy to think that this time last year we were just starting to get into work from home. We were just learning what Zoom was. And I remember being in my routine at home and would wake up, let my dog out, and then I'd sit at my table all day. I'd make some phone calls, do my Zoom interviews, and put half of a nice outfit on, put some makeup on, record my stuff in front of my television screen was my monitor for the day, and would send back my stuff. And this actually when Feel Good Friday was born, because we were so annoyed with all of the negative news. Not annoyed, we were just kind of bored with it, and it was being bogged down that we thought, hey, we need some positive news. Yeah, and I talked to our news director and said, can we do a Feel Good Friday? So that's how Feel Good Friday was born too. So COVID-19 has had some good things too.
There have been some good things, but if you and me are the same person, then we're just ready to get back in the world.
Yes.
Report the news, report sports.
Yes.
Have live things happen. So.
Well, exciting things. It's cool that Dr. John Silvernail, excuse me, tongue-tied, is administering some of those vaccines. Yeah. And did you have anything else about your story today?
Just go check out my story, WNCT.com, in the online originals tabs. Can't remember the name of the story, but it says something about how, I do remember the name of the story because I couldn't remember how to spell a word. It's how will vaccines affect with an A.
Oh, goodness. It gets me every time.
Yeah. Affect your vacation plans. There you go.
All right. Check it out, WNCT.com, all the fun. If you haven't been on there yet, you're missing out. So you definitely want to check out our online originals page as well. Well, Victoria, thank you so much for joining me on this week's Reporter's Notebook. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.